Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the latest oneHR Bite session webinar. Thank you for joining. So today it's a little bit different. Obviously, a lot of you may have noticed that in the last few weeks, oneHR has gone through some upgrades or some significant changes. So this Bite session today is going to be basically just me showing you all the new features, some of the new little changes in terms of logging in and things like that. There isn't too much. It's more of just a glow up and yeah, just to make the system more streamlined and obviously easier to use. So yeah, I'm just going to run through the things that have changed, and then also at the end, how you can get any technical support for the system that you may need to help navigate these changes, but there's nothing that will cause any sort of significant problems. It's all very similar to the previous version of oneHR. But yeah, like I said, just a few enhancements to the system. So as you can see here, I'm on the oneHR software website. So this is just to show you an easy way to get to the login page. So one of the changes we have put through in the last few weeks is that as previously, each sort of client, each account had their own individual URL, and then obviously their own individual login page to get into the system. Now that we've sort of pushed through these updates, all accounts have the same, or the login page is the same for everybody. It's after you've sort of logged in, put your details that you can obviously get access to your particular account. So if any of you have previously bookmarked the old URL, that will still take you to the login page. Or one of the other things you can do is you can come to the oneHR website, which is onehrsoftware.com. And in the top right corner, there's a blue login button. You click on that, and that'll take us straight through to the new login page. As you can see in the top sort of corner here, app.onehr.com, that's the new URL. So you can bookmark this page instead, and click on that, and that'll get you to the login page. So as you can see, it's more sort of visual, the changes that we've put through. However, one significant change that we have sort of made that everyone needs to be aware of is that when logging into oneHR, you needed the username and your password. So the username tended to be your first name, full stop, surname. We've now changed that so that you don't need a username. It's only your email that you need, and obviously a password to log in. So just be aware of if you're logging in for the first time since the updates, just pop in the email that's linked to your oneHR profile. So I'll just pop in mine. Um, and then obviously input my password and then hit next. And then of course, an authentication code will be sent to you. Now, whether you've got that set up as email or whether you've got that set up as text message, the process is exactly the same. This hasn't changed at all. Obviously input that authentication code. And then this is where things change. So if you are a user of oneHR and you're only linked to one account. So the company that you work for has one account, and that's the only one that you need to access. Um, After you input the authentication code, you'll be logged straight into your relevant account. For those of you who are potentially a oneHR partner or maybe have access to a couple of different accounts, whether they're sort of, companies within a group or you're an admin on several different accounts. This is where you can basically choose which account you want to log into. Whereas previously you'd have to type in a separate URL and log in individually. Now you can just choose from the options. So you can click the drop down. I won't do that as there is sort of client information in that, but if you click the drop down, it'll give you a list of all the accounts that you are linked to, and you can click on it, and obviously that's when you can just log in, or of course you can just type in the name and it'll filter to the relevant account. Once you've chosen the account that you want to log into, obviously hit login, and then we are now on oneHR onto the dashboard, which is exactly the same as previous version of the app. So the only other thing to note really from the dashboard As I said, it's all the same, but as I mentioned, if you do have access to multiple oneHR accounts and you want to change from you're logged into this account, but you want to change to another account, rather than, as I said before, having to type in a new URL or go onto a separate tab, the drop-down option is here. So you can obviously click from the drop-down, choose the other account that you want to. It'll ask you for your password. You can input the password again, and then you've logged in straight away to another account. So we've made it much easier for those with access to multiple accounts to chop and change between the account they're logged into. So that's just something to be aware of. If you only have access to one HR account, you have a profile on one account, none of that is sort of relevant to you. So we'll jump into the next features, which if I jump down here into actions. So previously, this area was called tasks. We've updated that and it's now called actions. Now the function and the process is exactly the same. You can still add and create those actions, assign them to different employees. They tend to be sort of one-off actions, but we've just changed the name. And we've also introduced, I'm not sure if you'll be able to see any here. So as you can see, these are all the sort of actions that are assigned on this account to other people. Any that are assigned to you there is exactly the same as previously. However, now we've introduced these different toggles. So when you are creating an action, so if I just click add action, you are able to choose the type of action that this is. So is it a HR action, a health and safety action, or is it more of a general action that doesn't fall into either category? And you can also assign it a priority. Is it high, medium, or low? And then depending on the action type that you choose when you create the action, you'll be able to filter using these toggles. So if I turned off HR actions and general actions, it just filters now to any health and safety actions, which there doesn't seem to be any on. Most just seem to be general. So you can toggle and basically filter those different actions. So if there's a lot of actions, you can toggle between the sort of the type of action it is. And obviously just makes it easier to basically deal with all those different actions. So like I said, the action type and the priority and the fact that it's now called actions, they're all the new features that have been updated on the system. And then the only other thing to note really that we've made sort of significant change for is there is now the ability to preview documents on the system. So whereas previously, if a document was uploaded, you'd have to download it to be able to view it. Whereas now that we do have this preview button, so if I just click on preview, you are able to obviously, when it loads, read through the document sort of without having to download it to your computer and log in, sorry, and open it up and things like that. So it just makes it easier to quickly check what a document contains. So you can obviously preview that. As you can see, this one's sort of 105 pages, so it took a little bit of time to load in terms of previewing. But if it's a single page, straight away it'll pop up. And yeah, that preview sort of feature is a new feature that we've added now to the documents area. Excuse me. Um, And that's pretty much the entirety of the changes that we've made that are visible to you. Obviously, there's a fair few changes we've made in the sort of in the background in terms of how the system works, which makes it quicker and easier. And we've also enhanced security. I know a lot of you may have noticed that the system will log you out automatically after a certain period of time. So that is a new security feature that we've introduced. It is mandatory. It's not something that we sort of chose to do. It was something we had to do in order to get the updates to this system pushed through. But basically, what will happen is after 15 minutes of inactivity, the system will automatically log you out. That is just to protect the sensitive information on the system and also prevent any unauthorized access if you are away from your computer or anything like that, and the system's left open, it will log you out after 15 minutes to protect that to enhance that security. And then it's just a simple case of logging back in, as I showed you before. It will log you out, take you straight back to the login page, and then it's just email, password, and then authentication code to get back in. But yeah, like I said, there isn't too many different things that we've added. Obviously, as I said, most of the things won't really affect you as users. It's mostly sort of in the background and in the sort of the back end of the system. But those new features are the things that we've added. Obviously, the login page using email now instead of username, the ability to flick between different accounts if you have access to multiple, all have been made much easier. Um, but if you do have any issues, any questions, something's not quite working as it should or as you sort of want it to, down here in the bottom right hand corner, here's a little chat box icon. Just click on that. This is our technical support network for the system. So this is available to all users, regardless of, your access level, regardless of, you know, how often you use the system. All have access to support, technical support for the system. So you have two options. The first one is you can come straight through to our help desk. So you can send us a direct message. As you can see, we typically reply under sort of 3 minutes. So the team get back to you really quickly when a message comes through to the help desk. You will be put into contact with a real person, so you won't have to speak to sort of AI chat boxes or anything like that. You'll have direct sort of line of communication to a member of the team who are an expert on the system, are fully sort of up to date and versed with all the new changes that we've made. And yeah, you can just send us a message, and that can be about anything regarding technical support for the system. Um, this help desk is open between 9 and 5, Monday to Friday. You can still send a message after, work hours. It just won't be picked up until 9 a.m. the next working day. But yeah, as you can see, team are really fast at getting back to you with a solution or just to let you know they're looking into it. And then a few hours later, or whenever the solution has been sort of found, they'll come back to you as soon as possible. Equally, if you wanted to try and figure something out for yourself, or it is outside of working hours and you need a sort of a quick solution, we do have a significant library of support guides. So as you can see here, there's a search for help bar. You can click on that, and straight away that will take you to, as you can see, 10 collections, so 10 different folders, all of which contain multiple articles, and they're sort of categorized depending on, what it is they're relating to. So if you want, if you're an employee, these are the four articles that are relevant for those of you who are employees. Leave an absence, documents, things like that. So you can click on any of these. So let's just click on employee guides for now and then access any of these different articles. So I just click booking leave as an employee, for example. It's just a step-by-step guide with sort of screenshots, just helping you run through how to do a particular task. Equally, in the search for help bar, you can type in what it is you're trying to do, and the system will filter the most relevant articles to you. So, just as an example, if I typed in working patterns, as you can see, I've not even fully typed in the word, and the system's filtered the relevant articles that I will need, sort of adding and assigning a working pattern, and then all the other articles that may be relevant depending on what you're trying to do. So, please, feel free to access this support network, make use of it. It's there to help any user with any sort of technical issues they have on the system. Even if it is, the most basic of questions, if you're not sure, please come through. The team are really friendly, really happy to help at all times. Um, and yeah, hopefully, whilst there isn't too many updates and changes that will affect your sort of day-to-day use of the system, um, we hope that those sort of updates and upgrades will make the system easier to use and streamline it more with your company and your business. And yeah, like I said, any questions or any problems, please come through the support network. Every month we do another bite session webinar. So if any of you have any ideas or things that you want to run through, again, come through the support network. Please get in touch with any ideas for future bite sessions if there's anything specific you want me to run through. I'll probably do another sort of update or change feature webinar in a couple of months, just to make sure everyone's happy with the few changes we've made on the system. And then this session will also has also been recorded and will be put onto the oneHR website. So if you want to come back and look at any of the things we've run through, sort of later on, it'll be there on the website in about a few days' time, I'd imagine. So if anyone has any questions, if you want to pop them in the chat, if not, like I said, support network for any questions regarding the system. So I'll just give you a few minutes to see if anyone has a question. Nope, looking like we're all good on the question front. Excellent. Um, well, thanks very much everyone for your time today. I know it was only a short session. Hopefully that's cleared up a few questions you did have on the new changes. Like I said, mostly to do with logging in. Use that email instead of your username. Um, and yeah, the new security upgrades. If you're not sort of active on the system for around 15 minutes, it'll log you out. Um, yeah, it's just for security and things like that. So excellent. Thanks very much, everyone.